There we go. Separate the skin from the protein. I mean, you can get fancy and use your knife if you want to, but if it's like this, like it's, you know, partially piece of frozen salmon, so you can easily just do it like this and take the skin off yourself, you know? You can just use your knife to be more gentle. And what I'm gonna do is do it like that. Scraps. So with this here, we're gonna do, we got a whole fillet of salmon, but with the more meatier parts of the salmon, it looks good, you know, the aesthetic and everything. Use this as a fillet, and you can use this as your salmon bites. And then when we get here on the end, it's more like a little end piece here, and we can use that piece to make you some salmon bites as well. Try to have some type of consistency as you get towards the end, you know. Once you cut them the long way, turn them, and you don't got to do it all at one time, you know. Separate it, make your life easy. Then now you just go the other way, and then now you cut your little bite-sized pieces, salmon bites. Then put them in your little mixing bowl, because we're gonna season them afterwards. For me personally, I like to just use a bunch of my own seasonings and add the salt myself. So I'll use garlic powder, onion powder, you know, Cajun spice, you know, things like that. And then you can control your salt better that way versus using a bunch of Slap Your Mamas or somebody creating their own spice blend, and it already, that has a bunch of salt incorporated into it anyway when you use a bunch of them different seasonings. So what I like to do is use a lot of like raw seasonings, and then I can control the salt that I add into my dishes that way. That's how I like to season. I use pink Himalayan sea salt. I know it sounds crazy, but sea salt has less sodium than your iodized or your table salt. I like to control my, you know, I'll season with my salt like that. And I know it looks like I'm using a lot, but pink Himalayan, again, it doesn't have as much sodium in it. So it's not like you're using, you know, making it super salty. A little prepared little Cajun spice that I made myself with no salt in it. It's just paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and I just threw some herbs in there like some thyme and a little oregano. And then I have a little bit more of my own little minced onion and more garlic. I love garlic. I'm a garlic head, so you know, you may see me from time to time season a little bit heavier with garlic versus any other spices. And then I like to, you know, get it all mixed in, incorporated. A little black pepper. Season the whole entire protein. If I'm cooking dinner, I like to season my food hours in advance. You know, I may season dinner before I go to work. That's how I like to do it. See, I seasoned the whole thing. If you're using a bunch of like all those little store-boughts, like somebody got their own little spice blends and all of that, you read the back of the label. Always read your labels. Cumin, caraway, paprika, smoked paprika. Those things aren't included. They're not like a blend. You know, when you use blends, typically blends have salt incorporated in them. So go raw on the spices and make your own spice blend. Rice that we already made up, red peppers, orange peppers, yellow peppers, some onion, a little mushroom. Just take your little rice cake, little rice, turn it into a little patty like so. That's how I like to do it, man. You know, especially if I'm feeding my family. You know, I have a family, so I'm feeding my family, you know, every day. We try not to eat fast food all the time, you know. I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, that's ideal right there, Blue. That's what we're looking for. Pro tip, whenever you're cooking something and you're doing it in grease, always do it away from you. After you get a nice skin, a nice sear on one side of your salmon, instead of trying to finish it on the stove, you can throw it in the oven just like this and then let it go. Set it like that. Little classic, little clean, little shrimp taco. Something light, something cool. And you want to chop them up, hit them with a little, so they can be easier to eat too, you know. Pay my son no attention in the background, y'all.
What's this you put on?
This the same aioli. That's why I said you can use your stuff for multiple things. Boom. I took them same salmon fillets and made me a little mini salmon sub. So, you know, have it multiple different ways. You know, don't have to have the same thing the same way every night. Already married together, and we just got a little. I don't want to shout out no names, but I rock with them. King Arthur flour, a lot of King Arthur products, classic, old school, cool, clean, you know, organic. So the shelf life on something like this, shelf life typically on any proteins 6 to 7 days. The 7th day, after the 6th day, if you're not going to use it, store it, put it in your freezer, Ziploc it. Try to take as much air out of it as you can, so that it preserves it. But I would say 5 to 6 days. You do them like this, that way too, you still keep the crunch. You know, sometimes when you put it on like a paper towel or something like that, take away the crunchiness of it sometimes. That just lets you know you have variety, you know, options. You don't have to eat the same thing every night. Buffalo Wild Wings, they have a plethora of sauces. You can take your salmon bites and do the same thing. Do some honey barbecue salmon bites. You can do some Parmesan garlic salmon bites. You can do some buffalo salmon bites. You can do the Asian zing salmon bites. So we got some little plain little salmon bites there.
It's the buffalo?
Yep, just the buffalo right there. There go your buffalo joints right there. And there go your barbecue runs right there. Little snack, little party snack, little, you know, salmon bites. Buffalo boy. Delicious. I can eat these all day. Little barbecue joints. See the smoke coming off that thing. Boom. It's light, clean, fresh, and filling at the same time. This right here, I took like hot peppers, but but the mayo cool it down so it's not spicy. But I took a bunch of hot peppers and that Hellfire, that pepper jelly that I had.
I rock with it, good.
It's good. And it's clean and simple. It's super easy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right amount of spice to it, ain't too much.
Yeah. Cause I'm a spice head, so I love something like these right here. My nose running, I'll still be just digging in. So that's why I say all this shit is really affordable, Blue. You can make it affordable, bro. You just gotta do different things with it, stay creative, and that way you're not just like.
I ain't even got no cheese in there.
See? See what I'm saying? When it's good, if you're missing something, you'll be like, I ain't even need it.